Recently, I found out that way too many of you are okay with kids being gay. I posted this video and I said, bring back bullying.
I just came back from Sephora, so here's a little haul for you guys.
Never have kids.
Oh my God. It's just so funny. Their definition of like, you think it's normal. Do you know what the definition of normal is? First of all, a lot of men wear makeup, including your president. Second of all, feminine boys have existed forever.
Hey guys, welcome back to Normal Gays, where we take on insanity. I'm Brad Polumbo here with Clarkson Lawson.
What's up, guys? Now, before we get into today's topic, which is a good topic because I've been talking about it for the last 3 days, this weekend we're going to be reacting to Jillian Michaels on Jubilee for our members only, so make sure you click the link in the comments to join.
It's her, a fitness trainer and the host of Biggest Loser against fat activists. And the clips I've seen already are just glorious. By the way, I'm back from Brazil and Argentina.
As if we didn't make enough content to like...
Well, we scheduled it out so much, actually.
So
they barely even had a break from me.
Yeah.
Not that they would want one. Why would anyone want a break from me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh? You shush over there.
We have a live
audience member.
Audience. Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna talk about this, and I did see this while I was on my trip. I tried not to scroll too much, but this woman went viral. Her bio says Catholic and Patriot. Her name is Olivia Krolizik.
That's the sure sign. No. And I'm never gonna bother learning. Bitch. That bio is the sure sign that somebody is a terrible person. I'm sorry.
Not certainly not always, but like it's like one of those things where
most of the time, yes. There's always exceptions.
It's one of the things where it's not all of the people with the verses, but whenever you see someone doing this, they'll always have Catholic in bio or a verse in bio.
Yep.
It's one of those.
Yeah. Especially on Twitter.
Especially on Twitter, but also sometimes on Instagram. Anyway, she decided to share to her 170,000 followers a video of a literal child. This kid has to be like 10.
I don't even think he's 10.
We can bring the pediatrician over to guess his age, but like he is so young. And she shared it with the tweet she wrote, "Bring back bullying," to which she attached a video of a child, and this tweet has 12 million views. Let's watch that video that she shared. And I'm going to have our editor blur. We're going to blur his face, but in hers, you need to know the face was not blurred.
Correct.
I just came back from Sephora, so here's a little haul for you guys. First thing I got was the Summer Fridays lip balm in shade Pink Sugar, I think. I was smelling it on the way back home. Guys, it smells so good. Guys, the lady was so nice there, and she gave me so many samples of the Laneige like water bank moisturizer and a bunch of hair oils. Last thing I got was the Bella Flor cream from Sol de Janeiro. This one smells so good. I have it in the spray, and I needed to get it in the lotion because it's really good.
So, okay.
Yep. It was a little boy expressing his creativity.
Skincare.
He likes lotion from Sephora. As if little boys liking feminine things never existed.
And is terrible and bad, and he should be bullied, in fact. Now, to be honest, as a parent, I probably wouldn't let my child film themselves and post publicly videos of themselves, but that is not what was objected to here.
I agree as a parent, but as a child, I did the same thing.
Sure.
Like, literally, I had a YouTube channel. I was doing all of this.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get... like if that's just how you express your creativity, I think it's very hard for a parent to tell them not to do it. But in the same respect, like the one point that I want to bring up is when they say bring back bullying, it never left. You just became an adult. Kids still bully each other.
I think it's probably not as bad as it once was.
Yeah, because we're adults.
No, for kids. Because there's much more anti-bullying lessons and teaching and advisors. I guess I just honestly have no idea.
No, it's really bad.
But I just find this so fascinating. We hear all the time, and sometimes for good reason, from Christian conservatives like, protect the children, think about the children. And then you have this bitch calling for a child to be bullied.
Yeah.
And putting on blast 10, I don't know, 8, 12, whatever, could be anything, not sure his exact age, but whatever, he's a very young child, and because she doesn't like that he's effeminate in whatever way, which she then jumps to conclude that he is gay, which we should talk about, because
she says it in the next video.
We have her next video, we have her follow-up video, but that's actually a stretch. Because what? Because he went to Sephora, maybe with his mom or with his big sister, and he like got some skincare stuff. Who cares? how has that hurt anyone? How is it obviously some boys, little boys, are feminine or effeminate, and the idea that needs to be bullied out of them as if that will work.
As if it works. I was bullied for wearing my sister's dresses. I was called, they would call me the little girl with cancer. He knows that. We already talked about it. Like, I would wear makeup. I had baby dolls, and granted, I would bully them back because I wasn't a pussy, but like, it didn't change anything. I'm still gay.
But what's so interesting about that is that, like, I wouldn't see this video and think that this kid is gay. He's like,
no,
he's like 10. He's prepubescent probably. So it's weird to even.
Also, like, his body's barely making testosterone. Why are you expecting him to act masculine? Like,
no, boys play
most
with
masculine
trucks.
Most masculine traits come from adulthood and hormones. Like, actual things that are associated with masculinity that aren't socially constructed. And if you're like 8 years old, everybody who has been around kids knows that young boys are a little bit feminine.
Well, some aren't. Some are very,
but like,
you know, boys.
I wouldn't consider like trucks versus Barbies. I'm talking like inflection and voice and things like that. Like, that is just a part of growing up.
And there's nothing wrong with it either way. And what's so interesting about that as well is, I'm sure Olivia would be horrified if this kid was being transitioned into a girl.
Yeah.
Right. And I would be as well. Obviously, probably have a slightly different take on it than her. But the idea that then you're also going to leave no space for effeminate little boys.
No.
But you're against them being transitioned to be girls. So you're just saying everyone has to fit into a narrow box of what you think is normal and appropriate and Christ-like or whatever. And in reality, the human experience is so much more diverse and complicated than that. And there's nothing immoral about being a little effeminate as a man. Like, show me on the doll where the kid doing skincare hurts anyone.
Well, I've realized it's protect their version of the perfect child. It's not actually about protecting kids, especially if you get the opportunity to bully one on the internet for clicks, because I know she's enjoying this 12 million views.
And that's the up thing about Twitter too, is like, that's monetized.
It's all monetized, and people don't understand that when you post a video of somebody else, and I'm very conscious of this because I used to go after the non-binaries on TikTok. If you post a video, you send an army of people to that person's page, and inevitably they will bully them. Like, you can't control what happens on the internet. So I'm very conscious that I'm not doing that to minors when I get in disagreements with people, but she's completely okay with sending an army of people to a child's social media.
I think it's different when the person is an adult who's put themselves out there as a political commentator.
Because you can make your own choices.
Right.
And if you choose to be on the internet, that's a repercussion of it. But if you're a child, it's a different story.
Completely. And I would never knowingly publicize a video or a face of a child. Absolutely not. What I'll say is, like, people will be like, oh, well, Olivia could get hate from you doing this video. We don't want anyone to say.
I want her to get hate.
We want her to get criticism and pushback.
No, I want her to get hate.
I hate this bitch. Okay, Clarkson.
Olivia, I hate you, and I think that you are morally corrupt because you bully kids and find their videos on the internet. Actually, I don't just hate you. I think you're a predator.
Oh, well, we'll come back to that in a second, but we don't want her to get threats. We don't want her to get harassed. But yeah, we do want criticism of you because you deserve it, and that can be very forceful criticism.
Yeah.
But that's different. Olivia is a professional adult. She puts herself out there with her opinions. This child making get ready with me skincare videos that he probably posted originally to like 100 people.
Yeah.
Then some libs of TikTok account blew it up as part of a culture war. I just think that's messed up. Now, let's look at her second video where she decides to make this about kids being gay or something, which it's not even really about that, but let's watch this. And we'll see if she cleans it up at all.
Recently, I found out that way too many of you are okay with kids being gay. Kids. I posted this video and I said, bring back bullying.
I just came back from Sephora, so here's a little haul for you guys. First thing I got was the Summer Fridays lip balm in shade Pink Sugar, I think.
I don't need to play the whole clip, you get the idea. But my point is that little boys don't act like this. Little boys don't wear makeup. But you guys think it's completely normal for a little boy to be acting like this, and it's not. If my little boy started putting on makeup and talking like this and having these mannerisms, I would be his first bully.
Bitch, never have kids.
Oh my God. It's just so funny. Their definition of like, you think it's normal. Do you know what the definition of normal is? Because throughout years of history, first of all, a lot of men wear makeup, including your president. Second of all, feminine boys have existed forever.
Yeah, and what's this idea that if something, it's also...
It is normal. Like, it is literally normal.
But
It's just an
also,
outlier.
in this context, something being an abnormality, it has no moral bearing. You know what's not normal? Having an exceptionally high IQ as a child.
Do you know
right?
what's not
But
normal?
you wouldn't be like, that's bad. Be normal, kid.
Yeah, well, what's
it's like
not...
only something that is otherwise bad or harmful is bad just because it's abnormal.
Well, the lisp that you're covering up, Olivia, that we know that you have because it's in all of your other videos, that's abnormal too.
And we wouldn't shame you for that if you weren't a bitch.
Yeah, no, I will shame you because she said she wants to bring back bullying. So why don't we start with her?
Listen, but her original point...
I'm sorry, I don't give a... I hate this bitch.
All right.
I hate her. I don't hate many people, but if you start bullying kids...
I never found you funny. I never found you entertaining. I never found you smart. I just found you annoying.
That's crazy. And then you have Jesus in your bio? Like, I don't know.
Valid crash out.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, like, she's like, people are okay with kids being gay. He never said anything about being gay, first of all.
No.
You just assumed that because he acted feminine and did skincare. But that really doesn't tell you what his sexuality will be after puberty. And frankly, it is weird that you started thinking about this 10-year-old's sexuality.
Yeah, she projected sexuality onto the kid and then complains that we, who want a kid to be able to express himself, or anybody who is on our side, are the ones who are pushing kids to be gay. We didn't say anything about being gay. You guys did when you used it as an insult.
Correct.
Like growing up, when I used to get bullied, people would be like, oh, are you gay? I didn't know at the time, but I figured out what being gay meant because everybody was calling me gay.
But she also has this take that, like, kids can't be gay. Kids shouldn't even know what gay is. And, like, that is just silly. I remember being 5 years old and having crushes on boys. It's like, that is a thing that exists before the age of 18.
But
and it's just kind of naive and silly to pretend otherwise.
Most people learn about and label that thing because they were bullied about it, not because they actually were educated and they grew up and figured out that some people are gay. It's usually because they were bullied and were told that they were gay.
Mm-hmm. Let's watch the rest of our video, and then we have a couple more things to touch on.
He doesn't act like that. He's not a girl. That's not happening. But
did you hear
of
it?
you are
That's not happening.
Oh.
Go back. She said bring back bullying, so we're bringing it back. She covers it up in this video.
His mannerisms, I would be his first bully. He doesn't act like that. He's not a girl. That's not happening.
That's
but
not
so
happening.
many.
All right, bitch, you asked for it. She said bring back bullying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you said it.
She asked for it.
But so many of you are gentle parenting in this generation, and look where it's getting us.
Okay, there's got to be some middle ground between gentle parenting and bullying 10-year-olds. Like, what the...
Also, like, who made you an expert in, like, human development? I just want to know, did she get a degree in it? Like, what part of human traits are passed down biologically? What is socially constructed? And I want you to really form your argument on how a young boy putting lotion on his face really indicates the sexual nature of him as a 13-year-old. Write a thesis on it, Olivia, and then speak it, and hopefully read it out loud. I'd like to hear that. Bitch. I'm sorry. I thought I was gonna be able to, like, structure this episode because I have reported on this story so much, but I'm just triggered. So.
Yeah. Valid though. Valid crash out. Let's keep watching.
Yes. Children should not even know what being gay is. They should not have even heard of it at this point. But
he never said he was gay.
You're the one
who called him
gay.
Oh my god, this bitch is driving me crazy.
I know.
But of course,
I saw this going viral, by the way, over and over, and also other people jumped in on it, like Brian Holohan. No,
I roast it. Why are you gonna show?
No. But I'm saying don't say anything bad.
Why? He bullied kids.
But we can't just clock his tea. Like,
I already did. He unfollowed me because of it. All I said was that he had man tits and the hips of a fertile woman. If they want to bring back bullying, we can bring it back.
Oh my god!
Because you know who can bully? Adult gay men. So come on, let's do it.
You really don't want to play these games with gays, babe.
Let's do it, Miss Hips, Miss BBL. We can do it. Estrogen maxing, tits ass bitch, big nipple ass.
Timu, Charlie Kirk.
Not even Timu.
Like, what's the...
Actually, Charlie did get tits before he passed.
What?
I'm going to stop.
All right.
Charlie didn't bully the kid. I'm not going to do that. All right.
But of course, these parents are letting their children on social media like TikTok and Instagram at such young ages where all this being shoved down their throats is transgenderism and being gay. So they don't know any different. So yeah, bring back bullying, bring back teasing. We need to let kids make fun of each other so that they don't turn out like this, because it's not normal.
All right, let kids make fun of each other. You're an adult.
You're not a child. Yeah, you. It's not middle school anymore, baby. You peaked. I know you peaked it, but it's no longer. You're not a child.
I just can't get over the fact that I agree that kids teasing each other a little bit is probably something that's good and okay, but it's just like a matter of threshold and dose. Like obviously too much becomes bullying. A little bit of teasing or social pressure is a different story, but it's supposed to be peer-to-peer, not adults monetizing bullying children on the internet.
I also I really really oppose the idea that bullying has somehow gone away, because I have nieces and nephews who deal with it all the time, and bullying just takes shape in whatever cultural norm there is. Maybe people aren't being bullied for being super gay in high school, or they're being bullied for other things. Do you know what I mean? Like it really hasn't gone anywhere. And also people are being bullied for being gay.
Yeah.
Still, very much so. In elementary school and middle school, like that wave of gay acceptance was literally just chronically online adults thinking that, like, I don't know, thinking that everything was gay.
I don't think it ever went away at the level you're describing.
No,
but it was observable.
At the level or at the level she's describing.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, so here's one update that somebody replied to her, because remember she said no kids shouldn't even know what gay is.
You didn't even quote mine. I'm the one who went the most viral.
Oh my God. But I was going to have you here, and I want to include this reply from her.
Oh, okay.
So Chris, who's gay, wrote, well, I hate to tell you, Olivia, but most of us, what?
He said, because of your burp, it just stopped the sentence. You said, Chris, who's gay. Like, hello, Chris, who's gay.
Oh, what are we doing here, folks?
Sorry.
Chris wrote, well, I hate to tell you, Olivia, but most of us homosexuals know we are at least somehow different when we are very young. Yes, I'm talking at ages like 5 and 6. By the time I was 12, I had figured out I was homosexual. So yes, children are sometimes gay, and it'll always be whatever. And he continues. And she quote tweeted him and replied and said, congrats on being groomed.
I wish gay men knew how to debate. I wish more people knew how to debate, because you don't even need, with her argument, you don't even need to get into the fact about, like, is being gay natural, or like, do you know you're gay? The kid never said he was gay. So literally all you have to do is just call her out on projecting sexuality onto kids, and call her a groomer, because by their definition,
she is literally pushing a sexuality on a child.
She is grooming that child and sending an army of people to groom that child, because that child's going to see all of his comment section and these 12 million people calling him gay and go, what does this mean? Am I gay?
And it's interesting because there are definitely a significant portion of kids who are effeminate or wore dresses as like little boys or whatever, who grow up and are straight men. That's not some wild thing.
No, it's actually very normal. Especially if they have sisters.
Yes, especially if they have sisters. Absolutely. But anyway, do you have more tea on this? I know you went deep into her.
Well, I also went deep into Bryland Hollyhand and anybody who essentially quoted her and jumped to bully this kid. But no, I mean, I think I think we covered it all. Really.
Anyway,
she's just gross.
It's sad that this is what,
it's all for clicks. This is what conservative media is turning into. It's
especially
like all
on Twitter.
And I feel like the influencers of like 2020 to like 2023, 2024 have kind of like ran out of things to talk about, especially during this administration, because it's very hard to defend. So they just keep getting pushed further and further right, and they're kind of like crashing out.
It's like, it is interesting, right? She
like, I'm thinking about like Tim Pool saying crazy, like, I feel like everybody's saying crazy stuff now just for clicks. And it's like,
it's also partly, it's an echo chamber thing.
Yeah.
She is in an echo chamber on Twitter where, like, she'll post something that 90% of the public would find her post repugnant.
Repulsive, yeah.
However, on Twitter, people will affirm and support this, be like, you're so right. And so they just
Where
play each other up and play
50%
each
of
other up.
the user traffic is bots.
And the rest is like terminally online people. And it's very much a self-fulfilling prophecy. So they get more and more extreme and they just lose touch with what other people think and kind of broader context.
I'm burping a lot, sorry.
Oh.
Child. Anyway,
it's just sad, but it is the kind of thing. Also, that I've seen that video before. It's not a new video. She just reshared it, and they just reshare the same slop over and over again to get the monetization.
Went searching for a video of it. I feel like,
or it probably got served to her by another account. You're giving her too much credit. She went searching for anything.
She might not be smart enough for that. But I honestly, my biggest issue with this is not, I mean, obviously it's with her and the other creators, but it's the people who still work with them. And like, everybody on the right will say that my line is the kids. My line is the kids. Like, that is my moral line, and I will do whatever it takes to protect the children. But then you'll work with people who literally find kids online and bully them. Bullying, we have plenty of evidence to support this.
This is you subtweeting your friend right now, by the way.
Not just my friend, all of my conservative mutuals. The Tatums, I love you guys, but you're in Holly Hand's comment section. I'll call you guys out too. Supporting him.
On this take?
No, not on this take.
Oh,
but I'm
just
saying,
in general. Okay.
I want to know why these people whose line is the kids have been silent. Yeah. Now, Corinne did agree with my post, which I think was good. And Corinne's not the only one. They're just the first person that came to mind. There's plenty of people who are still mutuals with Holly. Like, why isn't this a trigger for you to go unfollow, never work with you again? You're literally attacking a kid online. Why is this not a trigger?
Yeah.
I don't get it, because this is the most definitive, morally repugnant thing that you can do when it comes to kids. Because bullying, statistically speaking, is a lot more dangerous, we have plenty of studies to prove it, than going to a drag queen story hour.
Oh, for sure. If you made me choose, I would never take my kid to a drag queen story hour. And that's an interesting choice. But I would absolutely rather have them be read books by a man dressed weird than be publicly shamed to 12 million people by adults.
Yeah, it's very
destructive and harmful and not at all cool. But guys, let us know what you think in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. Do become a channel member if you want to see a fun video that's a little more lighthearted, but we'll probably still crash out at the fatties, the fat
this
activists.
One just triggered me.
Become a channel member now to see us react to clips from Jillian Michaels debating the fatties on Jubilee. And with that, guys, we'll be back with more Normal Gays real soon.